Relics. I'm Jennifer and I am going to show off my thrifted finds from the weekend. I'm going to start off with a few things that I found for $5 at it was marked as an estate sale, but wasn't really an estate sale. It was a group that did some kind of property cleanouts, estate cleanouts, and they were going out of business. It intrigued me because it was in an old department store that I used to shop at with my family when I was a kid. Little bit worse for wear, so there wasn't any light in the space, so it was a little bit dark, so I didn't get to do as much digging as I would have liked, but I did manage to find some really cool treasures there. So I'm going to go ahead and show some of those off. I found some letters and then the little kind of markers that would go on a jacket as well. Anyway, those are always nice, and I've got a big collection of those and they look kind of cool displayed out all together. I found this cool compass game, an old Boy Scout compass game. It's got like a little map that has a course, so it shows you how to set up the compass course, and then it's got little scorecards for people to mark as they make their way through the course. So they were basically giving books away for free, so I grabbed a few of those. An old Cutco book, I'm going to guess from the 60s or 70s. It's got some fun kind of color illustrations in it, so that was pretty neat. A really cool old dictionary, a couple books just for fun and reading, so just, you know, every now and then I get things for my own pleasure and not just things to do crafts or do projects with. These really cool kind of baby care books from the 40s, and a book about tea, so that's always fun when I have little kiddos over for tea parties. And this cool game with Ellery Queen's mystery magazine game. My husband explained to me that this was a TV show, so I'm excited to play this and see if it's any fun. So those were my finds from that location. Oh, and one other little thing that I threw in kind of at the last minute, like a broken costume jewelry. I don't know if that was like a choker or a bracelet. It's kind of a weird size, but has lots of really cool pieces that I'll be able to use for different craft projects. And yeah, so that was everything that I got at that site for $5. So it was kind of one of those things where I just piled everything up and they said make an offer, and that's what I was going to offer when they suggested $5. So I said perfect, didn't even haggle on that one. I went to another garage sale and found a set of kind of costume jewelry, and they were delightful and made me a deal on two. Both of these obviously aren't real gemstones, but just really pretty. So I thought those would be kind of fun for various dress up kinds of things. At another garage sale that I went to, I found this cream and sugar set depression glass. Interestingly enough, not too terribly far from there, probably less than a mile or so, I went to another estate sale and they had the exact same creamer and sugar, only in clear glass rather than the kind of rose tone glass, and they wanted a little bit more for it, so I feel like in the end I got a really good deal on that. So switching gears now, I'm going to switch over to my Goodwill finds. Obviously I have embellished this one with some flowers from the garden, but it's an old coffee pot. I love the fact that it's got like a wooden handle on it, and it's just a really cool shape, so it's perfect for flower display. Also found a cool vintage Lazy Susan that I will be able to put things out on. I thought that would look really cool as a cupcake stand for a retro party. I found this little bottle. I'm assuming that's older because it's got the older style and then the kind of rounded bottom. It looks like maybe it was buried, so maybe that was a treasure that someone had dug up. And yeah, I think that's just really cool, and I stuck some flowers down in that too, just to be fun and festive this morning. I actually went to the Goodwill twice and didn't find as much the second time as I did the first time, but I did find one little, I don't know if it's actually a shiny bright, I'm assuming maybe not because they usually do say so on the top, but it's just really cool, and it's got the indentation in there with the kind of sugar kind of glitter around the outside that. So there was a whole bunch of broken shards, so I know that there were probably some others that didn't survive, but I was able to rescue that one along with another vintage ball that's just missing its top, but I've got extra tops from ones that I find at other points in time. a little hanky here. I couldn't tell if that was a monogram or not. It might just be a little cute doodad there, but just I think probably hand embroidered, so I thought that was really sweet and special. Found a bunch of old cookie cutters. So I always love, I've seen this guy quite a bit, is a good gingerbread cookie, as well as a little horse. Love the horses. And then the cute little red ones. I don't think that these are as old, but sometimes they're cool. And one of these days I'm going to figure out a way to kind of do some fun light up stuff with those. And then a little Santa that's down in there too. I found a lot of great sewing notions. It looks like maybe somebody had packaged those up for a garage sale, but it's got some rickrack, some laces, and a whole giant bag of seam binding. So that was a real treasure. Also found some older spools. I love these just because of the little advertisements on the front. They're always so cool and neat. So vintage spools. You know you found a good sewing stash when you find a measuring tape. So that's what first clued me in that I should do a little digging. So a measuring tape, not too terribly old, but fun. Some ribbon that I'll be able to use for upcoming holiday craft projects, and little doodads for making assemblages, a little glass slipper, and a little plastic teacup. Fossil wallet, not vintage, but vintage look. And I figured probably knew this wallet would have cost more than all that I paid for all of this stuff. So I always like kind of finding that item that makes you put things in perspective. So that was mine. Another little bag of clothespins for crafting, a bunch of feathers. I always try to grab the old feathers when I find them because they're good for crafting, and the ones that are sold now, I think rightfully aren't real feathers in most cases. So finding the old ones and still preserving them, I think, is a good thing. Really cool flower postcards that I'll be able to, I think, use for different collage projects. There was a whole set of those. Really pretty. I thought this actually would be kind of a fun thing too. It's First Ladies, but their portraits and information about them I thought would be fun to do, like a series of collages with different images of First Ladies. So wouldn't that be neat? Some other little paper things, the little flags that go into like cakes or cupcakes, but also are really cute for craft projects. A little sun. This was a random thing. I'll cover up the address on that, but it was an unused stamp, which I'm always on the lookout for too, because it's a forever stamp. So why not? Like free postage. And I actually found some money. This, I don't know if this is still in circulation, but it's, it looks like it's from South Africa. In any case, 10 of whatever denomination that is. Who knows, maybe that's actually worth something. And then some other little cards and doodads for crafting. I found this old dictionary for kids. It's a little worse for wear, but I noticed that somebody had pulled one of the pages out and they were just amazing. So they had all these color inserts into it. So they had gems and birds and some insects and flowers. And I thought those were so delightful, but I didn't want to pull them out of the book. So I asked them what they would charge me for the book. And he took one look at it and how junky it was. And I was like, I'll just give that to you for free. So all of these really cool images, but then the like or the black and white rather, illustrations in the book itself are really adorable as well. So that was a good treasure. An old pattern that I think I'll be able to use for like paper doll style cutouts. A set of paper bingo cards, which I'm sure I can come up with something fun to do with. Paper thing. This was kind of interesting and I just had some fun with it. It was Colts. It was the Colts lineup from some point in the 80s, I think. I looked it up by the head coach, who was Rod Dohauer. And he was only the coach for like 2-year period in the mid 80s. So it had some, you know, signatures on it, so I'll have to look up who has actually signed it. and see if maybe there's any value to that. But I thought that was kind of a cool piece to stumble upon. Tiddlywinks, lots of fun. And I didn't find the actual puzzle, but I figure I could do some fun crafting things with the word haunted house and things. It was an old Disneyland puzzle. So have some fun cutting that up and using it for different things. I also found this cool glass pedestal bowl and a whole bag of potpourri that looked like little mini pumpkins that I figure I can use like in a haunted dollhouse display of some sort. Kind of keeping with my Halloween theme, I found this little cat. He needs a little bit of ear surgery, but we'll get him cleaned up and I think he'll be fabulous. And A Mystery of the Secret Drawer. I thought this might actually be a fun book to put a secret drawer in. Maybe rather than the book, that would have a little bit kind of a fun sort of kind of hidden meaning to it when I finish that project. And I get this little angel. I found an old velvet and kind of glitter on plastic sleigh and stuck a little tree in there as well. And that pretty much rounds out my thrifting trips for the weekend. I obviously spent a little bit more on the Goodwill side, but got a little bit more. But I think I did pretty well at some of my other thrifting this weekend as well. So let me know what you think, and be sure to check us out on thethriftysisters.net and unearthedrelics.com. Thanks for joining us today.